Timur, also known as Tamerlane, was one of the most formidable conquerors of the 14th century. His full name was Timur ibn Taragai Barlas, and he was born in 1336 in the city of Kesh, which is now part of modern-day Uzbekistan. The name Tamerlane is derived from the Persian word Timur ilang, meaning Timur the Lame, due to a leg injury he sustained in his youth. Despite his disability, Timur would go on to become one of the most significant military figures in history, founding the Timurid Empire, which spanned much of Central Asia, Persia, and parts of India and the Middle East. Early life and rise to power. Timur was born into the Barlas tribe, a Turkic Mongol group that had settled in the region after the fall of the Mongol Empire. His family was not among the ruling elites, and he initially grew up in relative obscurity. The early years of Timur's life were marked by the tumultuous political climate of the region, as various Mongol successors vied for power in the wake of the collapse of the empire founded by Genghis Khan. As a young man, Timur joined the military campaigns of local leaders and gradually earned a reputation as a skilled and ambitious warrior. His early career was shaped by the struggles for power among the Turkic and Mongol tribes, especially the descendants of Genghis Khan's empire. In the early 1360s, Timur formed an alliance with a local warlord, Husayn, and they started to gain control over the region of Transoxiana, present-day Uzbekistan and parts of Turkmenistan. In 1369, after a series of battles, Timur seized control of Samarkand, the jewel of Central Asia, which would become the capital of his empire. This victory marked the beginning of his rise to power as he began consolidating his rule over much of Central Asia. Expansion and conquests. Timur's military genius was in full display during his campaigns across Asia, the Middle East, and even parts of Europe. He aimed to restore the Mongol Empire and surpass the achievements of Genghis Khan. Unlike Genghis Khan, who sought to unify the Mongol tribes under a single banner, Timur's expansion was driven by a quest for personal glory, revenge, and the establishment of a new empire. One of Timur's most notable campaigns was his invasion of Persia in the 1380s. In 1379, Timur defeated the Persian ruler, Shahrukh, and proceeded to ravage the region. By the time he had taken the city of Isfahan, Timur had earned a reputation for his brutal tactics and total disregard for civilian lives. His military campaigns were notorious for their cruelty, and it is said that he would leave behind mountains of skulls as a reminder of his victory. Timur also launched a series of invasions into India in the late 1390s. His most famous conquest in India occurred in 1398 when he invaded the Delhi Sultanate. After a bloody siege, Timur's forces captured Delhi and massacred its population. The fall of Delhi to Timur was a catastrophic blow to the Indian subcontinent, and it contributed to the weakening of the Delhi Sultanate. In addition to his campaigns in the west, Timur also waged war against the Ottoman Empire. In 1402, he defeated the Ottoman Sultan Bayezid I at the Battle of Ankara, a crushing defeat for the Ottomans. This victory temporarily halted the Ottoman expansion, but it also proved Timur's military brilliance. However, despite these successes, Timur's empire did not last long, and his military campaigns eventually began to stall in the early 15th century. Administration and legacy. Timur was not only a military conqueror but also a patron of culture and the arts. He brought scholars, artisans, and architects to his capital, Samarkand, which became a center of culture and learning. Timur's rule saw the construction of magnificent buildings, including mosques, madrasas, and other architectural wonders that showcased the rich cultural heritage of Central Asia. In terms of governance, Timur was a highly organized leader, implementing a well-structured military and administrative system. He employed a combination of terror and diplomacy to maintain control over his vast empire. He was known for his strict adherence to the principles of Sharia law and his support for the spread of Islam, although he also displayed tolerance toward other religions in his empire, including Christianity and Judaism. Timur's empire, at its peak, extended from the Mediterranean Sea in the west to India in the east, and from the Caspian Sea in the north to Arabia in the south. His conquests significantly shaped the political landscape of the region for years to come, laying the foundation for the rise of the Safavid dynasty in Persia and the Mughal Empire in India, both of which would inherit Timur's legacy in different forms. However, after Timur's death in 1405 while campaigning in China, his empire began to fracture. His descendants, the Timurids, struggled to maintain the unity of the empire. The empire splintered into smaller states, and his vision of a unified Mongol-like empire did not materialize. Conclusion: Timur's legacy as a conqueror is still debated. He was a man of great cruelty but also a patron of the arts and culture. His empire, though short-lived, left a lasting impact on the regions he conquered, influencing the political, cultural, and architectural developments of Central Asia, the Middle East, and South Asia. His reign marked the last great wave of Mongol conquests, and while his empire did not endure, his name has become synonymous with ruthless ambition, military genius, and cultural patronage. Despite his brutal methods, Timur's rise from humble beginnings to one of the world's most powerful rulers remains one of the most remarkable stories of the medieval era. His legacy continues to be studied by historians and scholars to understand the complexity of his character, the extent of his conquests, and the lasting influence of the Timurid Empire on world history.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe our channel.